Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter Podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we're going to talk about it here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib, and we got a great show for you tonight. If you guys want to call in and ask questions, 323-870-3857. And tonight, we're going to be talking about Usyk versus Joshua is finally going to take place. We'll tell you when and where. Also, Floyd Mayweather making a return to the ring. How exciting is that, right? But first, we get started with ESPN Plus, the fight of the week. I guess kind of the only fight of the week here. Artur Beterbiev versus Joe Smith. Artur Beterbiev wins by TKO in the second round over Joe Smith. Beeb, you and I were way off on this fight. Now, even though I had Beterbiev to win and you had Smith to win, I did not expect this at all. I didn't expect this at all, man. I did not expect him to just go in there and just run right over him. I expected Joe Smith to put up a little bit of resistance. You know, when round one started, I tell you what, I thought he did pretty well, man. I thought Joe Smith was actually winning the round until the knockdown, until he got caught. But you know what I did notice in that first round? Through the first round, Joe Smith was getting caught with those right hands. He was getting caught with those right hands right over the jab. He knew, like, Beterbiev knew what was coming. He caught him on those with all those jabs and everything like that. Beterbiev knew what is almost like he knew what the game plan for him was going to be, and started countering right over the top of him. Now, Joe Smith came out, and you and I had talked about this yesterday before the fight. I said, do you envision a scenario where Joe Smith turns the table and starts pressuring Artur Beterbiev? And you said, yeah, I think it can happen. I think that's what he may do. And we were both I was really fascinated about that because Beterbiev is usually the aggressor. Not yesterday. Joe Smith was the aggressor. He turned him on the back foot, and it didn't do any good. I tell you what, man, we forget. Isn't Beterbiev like a two-time Olympian? Didn't they say he was a two-time Olympian or something like that? Or at least an Olympian?
Yeah, it was Olympian.
He can box a little bit. He can box a little bit. He's got, he's got power, and, sometimes his ability gets lost, but he can box, man. And I'll tell you what, it was watching Joe Smith yesterday, he looked like a fish out of water. He really did. I mean, he got clipped with that right hand, kept getting hit with that right hand, and he had no answer for it. He had zero answer for it. And looking back, it didn't really hit me until I was watching the fight last night, until I was watching the lead in for the fight. Joe Smith had a lot of pressure on him yesterday. If you think about it, he's fighting over there. He's fighting there in New York City, right? He's fighting in New York City, basically is his hometown. He's got all his people there. He had, his union people walk him to the ring. He had all them guys walk him to the ring. That's a lot of pressure, man. That's a lot of pressure.
It's Local 66 in the house, baby.
There you go. Local 66 in the house. But yeah, there was a lot of pressure on Joe Smith yesterday. Anytime you're in front of your hometown fans and everything like that, there's going to be a lot of pressure. Beeb, what was your thoughts on the fight?
Well, here's the thing. I thought Joe Smith would press, but I didn't think he'd press right away. But Beterbiev, as I said, is a mid-range guy, and he did most of his damage in the mid-range. And I made a statement that Joe Smith has to stay out of the mid-range, right? But once again, Artur Beterbiev makes you fight in that mid-range. You can't not get out of that mid-range. When you said he fought off the back foot, he took like a half step back and he circled, right? And here's the thing. So when Joe Smith's coming forward, Beterbiev's stepping off to the side. But when he steps off to the side, he creeps up on you, right? So Joe Smith is turning himself, and he's like, and he doesn't realize how close Beterbiev is to him, right? Because he's already anticipating that. He backed him up, right? And he slides over, but as he slides over, he edges forward. So then when he turns to face him again, He's stuck in the mid-range. He's probably thinking to himself, when I turn, he's still going to be out there at an arm's length, but he's not. So then that's how come Joe Smith's getting hit with those right hands, because he's not anticipating Beterbiev to be in position to throw those right hands, because he's thinking he's still out there, right? And that's the beauty of it all. There's no bells and whistles to it. There's nothing really dynamic, and I don't say that in a disparaging way. Right. He's not a flashy, explosive, fast guy, right? He's a meat and potatoes guy. He reminds me of George Foreman, the way he throws those clubbing punches. But one thing that was said last night was his timing. But it's not even timing. It's his instincts. Because as you said, he instinctively is knowing what you're going to do. He picks up on it right away. It's almost like when I like to use this comparison all the time. I love when Virgil Hunter said this about Andre Ward. He processes things faster than everyone else. Yeah. So Beterbiev basically is envisioning what's going on in front of him, and he's a step ahead of it. It doesn't have to be the fastest guy in the world. Doesn't have to be the most dynamic, explosive guy in the world, right? Doesn't have to be that guy, the most athletic guy in the world. But his ring intelligence, right? And just his ability to be adaptive, reactive like that. That's all he needs. And then couple that with everything he hits you with, he destroys. You know what I mean? He's just that heavy-handed. And he doesn't have to like knock you down or out with one punch, but you feel it. And it's crazy too, because if you go back and you look at the Gvozdyk fight, in the closing moments of that fight, when Gvozdyk's down on his knee, he's down on his knees, right? And he looks up at the referee. Probably could have got up, but he just looks up at the referee and said, "Nope, I'm done." Marcus Brown did the same thing. He was down on his knee, right? He looks up. I'm done, right? And Joe Smith actually got hit. He just turns over. He just turns around. He's like, fuck this. He just turns around and goes back to the corner.
He looked a little disappointed when they stopped the fight, but I mean, listen, man, I don't think, again, man, he did. I don't even know that he wanted to. I think he was just wobbled. I think he was out of his head.
Here's the thing, King KO. Joe Smith possibly still has faster hands and faster feet than Beterbiev, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
I do think Joe Smith was faster than Beterbiev last night. I do.
He is faster than him. He is faster than him.
Timing beats speed. Timing beats speed. It is what it is, man.
You know what I mean? He is. Again, you missed what I said. There's nothing dynamic about the guy. He's not fast. He's not explosive. I'm not going to say he's not athletic, but he's not,
he does basics very well.
Yes. What he does well, right?
Yeah.
It's like a guy in the NBA. I'm going to my right every time. Okay, I know what you're going to do, but I can't stop it because you keep beating me you got that first step on me. I can't catch you. Nolan Ryan, he's throwing the fastball, but you still got to get around on it. That's the same thing with this guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I still do think Joe Smith has faster hands and faster feet than Beterbiev, but guess what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I tell you, man, and you know what? You and I, we talked about this. I think we were, I was talking to you for about an hour last night where we were about this whole fight, man. Yeah. And both of us said, I think this is what's going to happen. You went one way, I went the other, and we were both still wrong. I did not expect. I expected him to go late.
Wrong than you because I fucking hedged. I hedged my bet. I thought
about that last night. I was like,
the over, and I took Smith. I lost everything. At least Dwyer picks Joe Smith, but he had the under. Shout out to Dwyer.
Well, there you go.
Shout out to Dwyer.
I tell you, man, I had he picked Joe Smith so he thought Joe Smith was going to knock him out early.
No, yeah. You know what he said? He goes, Joe Smith should be the favorite in this fight.
I always thought Beterbiev. I thought Beterbiev was going to win. I thought he was the better fighter. I thought he was tougher, and I thought that pressure was going to get to him. Again, we were all wrong, completely wrong, because it wasn't the pressure of Beterbiev that broke Joe Smith. It was Joe Smith's pressure on Beterbiev. So, like, that went out the window. And it was, I mean, how do you beat this guy? I mean, and this guy, to me, seems very beatable. You know what I mean? It's just, he's one of those guys. Somebody in the chat says, can anybody go the distance with Beterbiev? Yes, for sure they can. Absolutely. There's going to be a guy. I say this. I listen, man. I say this all the time. I say this all the time. There's going to be a guy who's going to be able to take your shots. Look at Tyson Fury and Wilder. There's going to be a guy that will be able to take your shot. It just is. There's somebody out there. And then when he does, how are you going to adapt? And then there's going to be a time you can't land that shot. I still think, after seeing it, listen, man, I still like Bivol in that fight. I still think Bivol wins that fight. If they fight, I would favor Bivol. I would pick Bivol.
You and D-Style, yeah. D-Style said the same thing to me this morning.
Yeah.
Guess what? If Beterbiev was to fight Jesus Christ tomorrow, he'd be a 4-1 favorite.
4-1 favorite.
He'd be a 4-1 favorite in my mind. Even if Jesus could resurrect, he's still going to keep getting knocked down. I'm going to hell. All
right, I'm going to disconnect here because I think we're going to have a lightning strike here soon. So,
oh God,
Jesus H. I tell you, man. Like I said, man, it shocked me yesterday. I did not, like I said, I expected a good fight. I did not expect what I saw. Didn't expect that. Not like that.
Yeah, that was a great performance.
It was, man. It really was. And Joe Smith, I thought, was doing really well up until that late round knockdown in the first round, and I think it all unraveled from there. And he still came out. He still looked a little, he's still lucid enough to come out and do his thing, but he got caught. But that's what I didn't notice leading into that first knockdown. And I thought Joe Smith was winning the round, I guess, again, up until that point. Leading into that first knockdown, I noticed he kept getting hit with that right hand. I mean, he found a home for that right hand, and he found it right away. And I said to myself, man, he can't take too many of those. I don't care if he's never been knocked down. I believe this is the first or second time Joe Smith has been knocked down or something like that. I mean, Joe Smith is a good fighter. He's former world champion. He's a good fighter. We've seen him fight. We've seen him beat good guys. We know, how dedicated he is and this and that. Listen, he's a good fighter, man. I'm just surprised at how this all went around. This went down. Andrew G said Joe Smith went to the hospital after the fight. I think that's probably pretty standard. I would think. I mean, after being knocked out, I think you have to go, at least for a concussion protocol or something like that. I mean, I would imagine he probably was, had a concussion after that. Yeah. I don't know. You can take that many solid shots and not have one, but hopefully he's okay. I haven't heard anything about it, but I'm sure he's okay. I'm sure we would have heard anything.
And I think Andre Wood made a great point. He said once Joe Smith felt the power, his game plan went out the window and he started getting desperate. He said to himself, I got to get this guy out of here because I don't want to be taking these shots for freaking 12 rounds. It's either me or him. I got to kill or be killed. It almost reminded me of Peter McNeely versus Mike Tyson. Peter McNeely just said, fuck this, I'm going to rush him. Because there's no Peter McNeely had no other choice. I mean, in the sense that he doesn't fight any other way. You're not going to see McNeely in a boxing match. You're going to see him out there in a tough man contest or something like that. Team Batman said he heard that Joe Smith's jaw was broken. I didn't hear that, but hey, listen, man, I've been out of the loop for a while. So I've been out of the loop for the last week. So I don't know. Yeah. Beterbiev is he's a monster, bro.
Man.
That guy is scary, bro.
And they both came out. What I liked about it, they both came out. They weren't messing around. And ESPN should do this more often. Have 2 fights on there. That's it. They had the Ramirez fight, and then they had this fight. And those guys came out. They wanted to fight. They didn't want any pageantry. They didn't want to, just get us out there. We're fighting. That's it.
Andrew G says, that's crazy, man. No interview from Joe Smith. That's what Beterbiev does to you. It takes you out. Well, here's the thing, man. You ain't going to be able to really talk that well with a broken jaw if that was the case.
Yeah. That was a one-sided beating, man.
I'm going to actually take a cue from the great Ringside Robert. Joe Smith may not come back from this. He may retire after this. This was one of those fights.
This was a hard lesson, man.
It's one of those fights where you say, do I really want to do this anymore?
And he lost to Bivol, right?
He already lost to Bivol too.
Lost
so what
to
else?
Bivol.
What else is there?
He lost to now, he loses this fight. So where do you go?
This is one of those fights where after it, you're never the same. Like look at Vosdick. That was his last fight too.
Yeah.
This guy really destroys you.
And really, I mean, Joe Smith, I mean, listen, I mean, he can get some more paydays and stuff like that, and he can still fight and everything. But because I know he wants to fight Bivol, and prior to last night, he probably had a good shot at fighting Bivol. But now that there's no real reason to fight him. Beterbiev is going to fight, according to Mike Coppinger, and I just read this here on ESPN. According to Mike Coppinger, quote from Mike Coppinger, the plan calls for the winner of Artur Beterbiev, Joe Smith, to defend his 3 light heavyweight titles versus Anthony Yarde October 29th with target date, sources tell ESPN. No deals in place, but Yarde is ringside in New York. Beterbiev and Smith making the ring walks now on ESPN. So this was last night that he posted this, obviously. You guys, hit the like button if you guys are in here. We got quite a few people watching right now, so let's hit the like button. Let's get these likes up. We do appreciate it. So get the like button. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything. Just click. There you go. So I think he does fight Anthony Yarde next. It makes sense. I'd like to see him fight Bivol, but if Yarde's a mandatory, he's got to do what he's got to do. So I think he disposes of Yarde pretty quick. I don't think Yarde has a real good shot in there. I'll be honest. It just doesn't. So what does Bivol do next? I don't know.
I wouldn't mind seeing Bivol fight Zurdo Ramirez. That's a fight that
man, I'll tell you what, that's a tough fight.
That's a tough fight for him. It's not an
easy one. I don't know who wins that fight. That's a toss-up fight for me.
Really?
Yeah. Zurdo is really good, and Zurdo is really underrated. And he's underrated because he's been, under the thumb of that De La Hoya. Yeah. And that's why he's underrated. You know what I mean?
I don't know why
he was with Arum. And
he's with Top Rank, and I don't know why he left.
The thing is, he's not marketable. He's not a marketable guy. I don't know why he's not a marketable guy. He's just not.
He's an entertaining guy too. He's like he's a good when he talks and everything. He's pretty funny. I like the guy. I like the guy.
I mean, he's undefeated. He's got 40 some odd fights. I mean, this is the guy, man. So I would love to see him fight. I would love to see him fight Bivol next. That would be great.
I fell asleep, and because someone in the chat said these fights come on way too late. I fell asleep. I woke up when Artur Beterbiev was being announced the winner. Luckily, I DVR'd it because then I went and watched it again. And I mean, it was just these fights come on way too late, bro.
They do, man. I tell you what, they really do. I had to get up early this morning to come back from vacation or whatever. So I was driving all day, but I had to get up. We had to get up early or whatever. So I'm like, it's like almost midnight, I think, by the time I went to bed. So it was like, oh man.
Oh my God, it's crazy then. Yeah, I think that's a fight. Now that's a fight I'm definitely taking the under. If the over-under in that fight's probably going to be 6.
For what? The
Beterbiev and Yarde, yeah.
Oh yeah, Yarde's getting.
And
smashed.
I like Yarde.
I do too, but he's getting smashed.
No disrespect, man, but that's I don't know, man. I don't see it.
Yeah, we're over here crying about it. Team Batman, who's in the UK, trying to stay up till 6 a.m. every Saturday.
You're right.
He's pulling like the Mayweather tension every weekend.
Shout out Team Batman Boxing, man, because he's always on. He's always watching videos, no matter what time that we go live or I go live. He's always watching them, so I appreciate
always
that.
Here. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
we definitely appreciate it.
He's awesome, bro.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, guys, hit that like button. Let's get those likes up. We're at come on, man. Let's get them up here. Come on, let's get them at least. Give me 20 more likes, man. Come on. What's the matter with you guys? Maron. I just walked in the door. By the way, guys, I just walked in the door at 5 o'clock, and we're doing the show at 6. All right. So come on, man.
Eric,
show us some love, man. Come on.
I had to beg him to do the show, man, because it was what else am I going to do on a Sunday night, man? The Celtics lost. I'm in a depressive state. I lost both ends of my bet yesterday. I need something to look forward to tonight.
I called Beeb in Georgia yesterday, like right outside of Atlanta, from a Waffle House from a Waffle House, and I'm talking to you outside. It's 99 degrees in Georgia yesterday, and I'm talking to Beav about this fight last night at the Waffle House.
Eric is a trooper, bro. Give Eric credit. He is a trooper. Then when you remember when you were coaching soccer, you were like rushing home after those soccer games every. You
remember that? Sunday? Yeah, I had like a tournament the one day, and I'm just like flying home at that point.
Right.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's talk about the undercard here. Robeisy Ramirez versus Abraham Nova. Both guys Nova was undefeated until last night, man. Ramirez wins by a KO in the 5th. Let me tell you what, that was nasty. That was nasty. He set that up. He set that shot up, man. I tell you what, he pulled him right in. I mean, he pulled him right in for that counter. He dropped him, he didn't go through the ropes, but he went like underneath, you know what I mean? And he was out cold. He was out.
That was
Robeisy looks really good. Yeah.
That was a shocker because I expected Ramirez to box a lot. Obviously he boxed, but I thought he was going to move a lot more, be more evasive. I didn't think he was I didn't
expect that.
No, I was very, very surprised. Very surprised. It's almost like Lara. Like sometimes like Lara would fight somebody and move a lot, but other times he would like when you look at certain fights, like when he fought Paul Williams, he like took it to Paul Williams. When he fought Jared Hurd, he went head on with Jared Hurd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like guys like I guess Ramirez has a different wrinkle to him, sort of like how Lara can be both guys in there.
Listen, man, the guy's a gold medalist, beat Shakur in the amateurs. I mean, I know he lost his first pro fight and everything, but I mean, listen, man, this guy's gotten better and better. Now, can he beat Shakur Stevenson? No. 100% no.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick him to beat. I wouldn't pick him.
I wouldn't pick him. I would say just let this guy go on his own path. Don't try to put those two together. Let this guy do his thing.
Yeah.
Let him do his thing. Let Shakur develop because Shakur is miles ahead of this guy right now. He'd get killed.
And Shakur is growing too.
Yeah.
I think he took a picture next to Tank, and he looks so much bigger than Tank.
He's a big guy. I mean, he's for that weight. I mean, you're talking about that weight,
Yeah, he's not going to be at 130 much longer. I could see him going to 140,
Kevin Fuentes said Canelo's not a 175 pounder. He can't hang at 175. No, I don't think so. No. But I mean, listen, I thought Beterbiev, I thought Beterbiev would have been a better choice for Canelo than Bivol. After last night, man, I don't know. It's Beterbiev, it's pretty hard. I don't know, man.
Beterbiev is scary, man. Very scary.
Yeah, he's got that freakish in it. He just knows how to throw a punch. He puts everything in. It all comes from his legs. Right through the hips, and he knows what he's doing, man. Does again basics very well.
He's a dangerous guy.
Omar Rodriguez says, "Do you think Shakur gets to 147?"
Possibly, but
it's possible.
Not 100% on that.
He's not. Is he big enough to get to 147? How tall is he?
I think he's like 5'8".
Wow.
Yeah, he's pretty tall.
It's possible. It's possible.
I would say 140 for sure. 147 is possible. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Devin Haney definitely goes to 147. Devin Haney can definitely get to 147. And I think Devin Haney will dominate at 147 for a long time.
I'm gonna say the bigger Devin, like the unlike Floyd, when Floyd moved up in weight, he was, became less of a combination puncher, less of a puncher. He's more of a boxer puncher in the lighter weight classes. Just the opposite. I think as Devin Haney moves up the ladder in weight classes, I think he's actually going to be stronger and hit harder. I think he's really going to grow into his own at 140 and 147. I think he's going to be even more dangerous. So
yeah, because I don't think his speed is really going to go anywhere. I really don't. I mean, he may lose some of his speed, but he's still going to be faster than almost anybody that he fights.
He may even be more explosive when he moves up because he's going to have a lot. He's going to be able to retain a lot more of his fast twitchy fibers. He's not going to. I'm sure he's losing muscle mass to get down to 135.
Yeah,
it's a hard cut for him.
For sure. Oh, like everybody's piling on to Beeb tonight. Dean Ice says, before the fight, Beebs had Canelo beating Beterbiev. What happened? Again, man, I think that Beterbiev was the better matchup for Canelo.
Before what fight? Before
probably the Bivol fight, maybe. I don't know.
Before the Bivol fight?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought, like I said, man, I thought that this was definitely a better matchup for Canelo. The Beterbiev was a better matchup because Beterbiev can't move like Bivol.
I mean,
he's not as good of a boxer. At least I thought he wasn't as good a boxer as Bivol.
Are we gonna continue to do this Monday morning quarterback?
You remember B back in '72 when you said Sugar Ray was?
I mean, D Nice, give me all of your picks. Let me see all of your stellar.
We're out.
Like, what is your once again? You guys want a blue ribbon for guessing. That's all we're doing is guessing. It's not like guessing. I went over this morning. Guessing is not a skill, guys. We're guessing. That's all we're doing. Because if we were 100% sure on all these fights, we would not be working. We would just be betting on fights every day.
That's
we wouldn't have to work again.
I tell you, how good are we? Listen, man. B picked one guy, I picked the other guy, and we both lost. It was like
again.
We were both wrong,
Pick every week, and you are going to be wrong 50% of the time. That's just the way
That's gambling, man. That's the way it works.
And if you
Corey Lee had Beterbiev by TKO
we're
in the
all
second.
We're all bad guessers. We're all bad guessers. Even
That's
you.
True. That's why we have regular jobs,
Even you. I mean, you only tell us the guesses you get right. If you're only going to tell us the guesses you get right, like Floyd Mayweather, show us your winning betting slips and not your losing betting slips, then of course you're going to look good. You're good at guessing. No one's good at guessing. What are you going to do? You're going to walk into a fucking job interview. Yeah, what are your skills? I'm a great guesser, sir.
That would work at like amusement parks where you're guessing the people's weight and age and stuff like that.
I can guess with the best of them, sir. I predict tomorrow you're going to have French toast for breakfast. I mean, come on.
The kid's back says, imagine Canelo walking Beterbiev down. I tell you what, in retrospect, that's a dangerous thing, man. That's a dangerous thing. God. So I think he's right, man. Somebody said earlier, Canelo's not a 175. Again, I don't think he ever beats Bivol. There's no scenario I see where he beats Bivol.
Okay.
But there's no scenario I see where he beats Beterbiev either.
But the thing is this: we can't have it both ways. Maybe he's not a 175 pounder, but everyone still picked him to beat Bivol. And then when he lost, then he's not a 175 pounder. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we were all wrong. I mean, no question about it. I think we were all wrong on the pick. But again, man, I think he's right. I don't see Canelo anywhere in that 175 pound range. I think that's where his cap is. There's nobody there that's gonna beat him. I don't even know that he beats Ramirez, Zerto Ramirez. He's not beating Bivol. He's not beating Beterbiev.
I don't even know if he beats David Benavidez at 168.
I don't know either.
I would.
That's a tough fight. We've always said that was a tough fight.
That's a horrible matchup for him. Fast-paced fight. Big, strong guy, David Benavidez. That's not an easy fight.
Yeah, I would like to see Benavidez and Charlo fight, man. I really would. I'd like to see Charlo move up and fight Benavidez. I think that's a good fight. Philly Drew says Canelo doesn't beat Joe Smith. I think Joe Smith, now whether he can or not, I don't know. But I think Joe Smith, out of that crew that I just mentioned, is probably the most winnable fight for Canelo. But,
yeah,
I don't know.
Probably should have fought Joe Smith for the WBO title.
He probably should have. Well, then I don't know. Then he would have had to fight Beterbiev. So I don't know. Okay, who knows, man?
I don't know, man.
All right, let's talk about the upcoming fights, and these are definitely the dog days of summer here because there is not much on the docket. Good fight coming up, though. Let's see here. July 24th from Kissimmee, Florida, Jonathan Gonzalez versus Mark Anthony Barriga, 12 rounds for Gonzalez's WBO junior flyweight title. And that doesn't have any TV listing on it, so I don't know if you can find it or not. And I believe this is Saturday, the 25th. Baja California, Mexico, ESPN Plus, Hecky Butler versus Elwin Soto, 12 rounds, junior flyweights. Jesus Rivas versus Gennaro Velarde Rodriguez, 6 rounds for junior featherweights. That's on ESPN Plus. From San Antonio, Texas, I believe this is on DAZN, Beeb. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is on DAZN. Jesse Bam Bam Rodriguez versus
Yes.
Sor Rung Vasai.
Yes.
12 rounds for Rodriguez. That's going to be so
Oh, it's
good.
a great fight.
So good. WBC junior bantamweight title. Wasn't Rung Vasai the one having chick problems, man? Didn't his girl walk out on him the one time, and he was a couple years ago, and then he was having.
He squared that away though. That's okay.
Did he though?
Right. Yeah.
Did he though?
Come on, he's all right.
Got I love problems, son.
I love Rung Vasai. He's like my favorite fighter at 115, but Bam Rodriguez is gonna be problems.
Bam Rodriguez is walking through this guy.
He's gonna beat him, I think.
Especially if he's got lady problems, he's done, son. She's gonna be leaving him. She's leaving him for Bam Bam at the end of the night, son.
Come on, please.
Just saying.
Give the guy a break. It was years ago.
Listen, I'm not having chick problems. You know what I'm saying?
Years ago, man. He's been through the therapy process. I mean, he's okay now.
He's been through the therapy process. He ate gallons of ice cream and talked to his therapist.
He needed to talk to somebody. He got it squared away. I think he is like Robbie. Crying in his fucking Cheerio every morning.
Oh, that's messed up. We're gonna get to Robert in a second here. Now on the undercard here, Murajan Akhmadaliev versus Ronnie Rios, 12 rounds for Akhmadaliev's IBF junior featherweight title. Julio Cesar Martinez versus McWilliams Arroyo, 12 rounds for Martinez's WBC flyweight title. This card is really stacked, man. And then there's a chick fight on there. Jessica McCaskill versus Alma Ibarra, 10 rounds for McCaskill's whatever title she's got. She's got a few of them. So, yeah, I probably won't watch that, but I'll probably watch the rest of the card.
Come on.
So, B, this is a good card, no?
It's a great card, man.
What'd I say?
Please.
What'd I say? I didn't say nothing, man.
Show some respect to the female.
Listen, if it ain't O'Shea Jones, I ain't watching it, son. I told you she's the future. Everybody else playing catch-up ball, son.
What about Clarissa Shields versus Savannah Marshall in September? You're not looking forward to that?
Who?
Savannah Marshall. Beat Clarissa Shields in the amateurs.
Wasn't she in movies or something like that?
Come on, please.
I'm asking. I don't know, man. I don't keep up. I don't have like this database like you got of these stars.
That's Penny Marshall. You're thinking of, remember, from Laverne and Shirley?
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
How old are we, man? Yeah,
Jesus Christ. Remember Laverne and Shirley in Happy Days?
I like Penny, though. I like Penny more than Laverne.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. Saturdays, and it's the day we're going to have fun tonight.
Wasn't Mr. Miyagi on that show? Remember that? Mr. Miyagi was like Arnold or something like that.
Arnold's.
Yeah.
He wasn't waxing on, waxing off them, man. He was doing the grill back then.
He was waxing on somebody. I don't know.
Please.
Mr. S says Savannah destroys Clarissa. I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's a tough one.
I don't know enough. Listen, man, I don't know enough about it. You know what I mean?
Omar Rodriguez. He's
like, what are we doing here, son?
He must be in his 20s if he because you have to be at least 50 to know Happy Days. The show.
Yeah,
Happy
you got to.
Days.
Yeah,
Google the show Happy Days.
Yeah,
you'll love that show. You don't know the Fonz? Hey.
What's the matter with you?
What's up, Mrs. C?
Omar Rodriguez is 44. You're 44 and you never heard of that show?
You never heard of that show, Happy Days?
Oh, come on, man.
Where are you from? Bolivia? Not that it's bad to be from Bolivia. I'm just saying.
Beeb kind of looks like Fonzie.
Yeah, because of the sideburns, because of the hair, and the nose, because of the nose and the hair.
Oh my God. I know people tell I can't ever get people tell me I look like George Lopez or something like that.
Yeah.
And I never, why can't I look like Mario Lopez or something like that? Or
they say you look like Punch from Chips.
Eric Estrada, Eric Estrada was the other one. But Danny Trejo, I gotta look like I can't look like Mario Lopez or anything like that. I gotta
never. That guy's a stud, man. That guy's a stud.
Man.
None of us can look like him.
All right, let's see here. Let's go to the before we get to the news and everything like that, let's go to the phones. We're gonna go to 602 first. 602, you're live.
And again, Yo, Beeb and Eric, what's going on? It's Brandon from Phoenix. How you guys doing?
Brandon, what's up?
How you been, brother?
Oh, I'm all right, man. Maintaining, man. Just ducking and dodging, man. Trying to keep up with inflation like everybody else, bro.
Jesus Christ.
$5 for gas over here. I don't know what you guys are paying for it over there. It's like $5 over here, though.
God,
it's crazy,
man, it's
right?
Ridiculous.
I think it was like $5.60 last time I went to the gas
station.
But let's let's get to the boxing. Yo, man, last night was probably, in my opinion, this was probably the cleanest performance of Beterbiev's career. I've been watching him pretty closely since he beat that one guy. God, he beat the shit out of him too. He was like the WBA champ. I can't remember his name, but
Hopkins
beat him too.
Hopkins beat him.
No. Yeah, no, it was like Beterbiev like eighth fight, and he.
I know what you're talking about. I know you're talking about. Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
You know, remember like the mother fainted like after the fight because
Divorce Cloud. Divorce Cloud.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, but I've been watching him for a long time. I've always been excited about his career, and last night, man, I think I feel like his legs last night were better than I've ever seen them. I mean, maybe that was the opposition. It was just a great performance. You know, I don't think you know what, Eric? I see what you're saying when you say that would have been a better style matchup for Canelo.
Yeah.
Because maybe he's not the pure boxer and as rangy as Bivol is.
Right.
But it wouldn't have been a great matchup because he probably would have got knocked out.
No, I agree. I mean,
so he might have had.
Yeah, I completely agree with it.
No, go ahead. Yeah. You know, he might have had more offensive success, so it might have been a better fight. But I think the ending of the fight would have been worse off for Canelo than what happened with Bivol. You know what I'm saying?
I'd rather have Bivol.
I'm looking forward to see if Anthony Yarde steps up to the plate.
Yeah, I'd rather have Bivol maybe look stupid for 12 rounds than get my block knocked off by that.
Yeah,
guy.
I'll tell you what, man. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't want to go in there with
Anthony Yarde will probably take that fight because it's going to be. It's again, if they could do that fight in the UK and they could fill up a stadium, that's going to be a very lucrative fight for both guys.
Yeah, that'd be huge, right?
So
that's huge, especially coming off of this. Huge.
Who cares what I want, man? If I'm Anthony Yarde, go get the bag, bro. I mean, who am I to take food out of the guys off the guy's table, man? You know.
That's true. I mean, Beterbiev, even though he does fight out of Montreal and those fans seem to be able to kind of attach themselves to foreigners, it just seems like, the bag would be with Yarde, and Beterbiev seems like he's willing to travel. I mean, he did fight Joe Smith in New York. So, more credit to him, man. I think that'll be a great fight, or the B-ball fight. One of the two would be awesome for boxing. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. That's all I got on this weekend, man. Is there any? Oh, my last question for you guys. What did you guys think of Jalolov in his last fight? I did not see it.
Man, I tell you what, this guy, he's looking good. He's developing right and everything like that, man. He looks good. He's definitely one to keep that eye on for sure. Anytime he fights, he's one of those guys you're going to want to watch.
I got it on the DVR. I'm going to have to check back. But, man, you guys have a good one, man. I appreciate the show as always, man. Y'all stay up.
All right, man. You too. Thank you.
You know what I love about Brandon's calls? He has like the best phone connection. Every time he calls in, he's nice and
always
clear.
Super clear.
We don't need subtitles when he calls it. Shout out to Robbie. Robbie has a good phone connection too. But some of the people that call him, with all due respect, guys sound like you're using like two fucking paper cups tied together with a string. I mean, I don't want to be disrespectful here, but
I don't want to be disrespectful, but your phone sucks.
But I just was, I guess. I'm sorry.
Well, it's kind of disrespectful, B. But
sorry, Lois. I'm trying. Lois.
Why don't Lois write you up? You know what I mean?
I know. That was a little bit bad.
Yeah, right. That was cold-blooded, man. That was cold. Speaking of cold-blooded, Antonio Luna in the chat, you are absolutely cold-blooded. He said I look like Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, the guy Fluffy. I don't look anything like that guy. Come on, man.
That's a low blow there. I don't agree with that.
I've been working out a little bit, man. I thought I was looking pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
Eric is looking good, man. Give the guy credit, please.
Come on, man.
Please.
Come on. Give me some credit.
Show the guy some respect, please.
I don't even think he's that funny, to be honest with you. I don't really like you. Like him? I don't even think he's that funny.
No, he's not that funny. No,
he's
overrated. He's overrated.
I wouldn't mind though. That's right. Salute to all. Ringside Reporter is the best. Tell a friend. Thank you so much, Pocket. We appreciate it. All right, let's go to Robert. See what's up. 530, Robert.
Hello, guys.
What's happening?
Hey, Robbie. How you doing, you little rat? I mean, how you doing, Robbie?
That's messed up, man.
What's up, Robbie?
I'm doing good, Eric. I hope you had a good vacation. And Beeb, sorry for your loss.
Hey, let me say something, Robert. I'm not like the other Celtics fans that throw shade out at the Golden State Warriors. If we have to lose to somebody, right? We lost. It doesn't pain me to lose to Steph Curry. I love Steph Curry, man. That guy's a class.
No, he's a great dude, and he does so much for different charities. It's unbelievable.
I love Steph Curry, man.
You know.
I know a lot of the Boston fans were talking trash about Steph Curry.
Is just he's a game. You know, he doesn't talk trash. He doesn't gloat. He doesn't talk trash.
He's a very likable guy.
He's the kind of guy you want on there.
Talking.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy you want on your team.
Who's better, Robbie, him or LeBron James?
Well, I think LeBron James is going to go down as one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
Well, LeBron's from Ohio, so obviously he's better.
But I kind of like Steph better. I'd rather have Steph on my team.
LeBron takes that team to another level, man. LeBron can get a team there. Look what he did with Cleveland. He was the only player there. He really was. Steph Curry's always got a good team around him. Kevin Durant was there.
But LeBron has to go and build super teams. He has to build super teams.
Oh, look what he did in Cleveland. Look what he did in Cleveland. And he got him to the finals with that team.
Eric, I was against the whole Kevin Durant thing because he basically wanted to tie himself to a good team. And if you notice, as soon as he left, he hasn't been able to do anything since he left the Warriors. He came, got his titles, and left. I mean, I don't like guys that just come on and, well, I want to take advantage of this success.
Hey, listen,
I think the Boston Celtics are going to be fun. You know?
Man of Water says, what about LeBron going to the Warriors?
He probably will.
He probably will, right?
No.
He probably will.
All the guy does is want to be on super teams.
No.
Look at Steph. Steph stuck it out, man. He's been a Warrior his whole career, all 13 seasons.
Kyrie Irving was.
That's right, and he said he's never going to play for another team. So
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, Steph Curry's a good guy,
as far as the boxing last night, as far as the boxing, I was very impressed with Beterbiev. I thought he would win. I didn't think he'd win like that. You know, I mean. Maybe they gave the monster the wrong name. Maybe Beterbiev should be called the monster because, man, that power is unreal. It's just totally unreal. I don't know what else I can say about that. And Anthony Yarde, you better make sure your bag is big because you better make sure you can pay for your hospital bills.
Again doing it.
Yes.
Again, you're wishing harm on somebody.
What are you doing?
Please. And my God. Why do you do it over and over again? Please.
Oh,
come on.
Yeah.
You're saying the guy
family show, Robert.
You're asking the guy to pack his own body bag. Why would you do that?
After what I saw last night, he doesn't have much of a chance, man. Come on. I mean, and Eric is correct. There's going to be somebody that comes along that's going to be able to take his shot. But we haven't seen that yet.
Don't just try to agree with Eric now all of a sudden.
You know, I mean, let's be honest. You know, now, Dimitri Bivol is a boxer. Do you think he's going to be able to deal with the power of Beterbiev?
Listen, I told Eric, man, if Jesus Christ came down and fought Beterbiev, I think Beterbiev would still be a 4-1 favorite. That guy's.
You sound like you remember them guys from Saturday Night Live? They were always talking about the Bears, the Chicago dudes, or whatever. It's like, you know, the Bears versus God. Take the Bears by 3. You know what I mean?
The Bears versus the Russian Special Forces.
The Spetsnaz. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, I think that better.
By the way.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Robert.
Go ahead, Joe.
I said what I saw last night. I don't think anyone beats this guy.
No. I mean, my God, that power is just unreal. But I think Dimitri Bivol has a chance of surviving rounds because he's a mover, he's a boxer, and I don't know how well Beterbiev can deal with somebody that moves constantly. So that'll be the.
I'll tell you what's interesting about the Bivol fight is that Bivol is going to move and he's going to go backward. Bivol's not going to try to press him forward. You know what I mean? He's not going to try to back Beterbiev up. He's going to move and box and do his thing. What's going to be interesting is, can Bivol handle the pressure? That's what's going to be interesting if that fight happens.
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting part, because I don't think Bivol has ever been pressured by anybody, because he's the best mover in that division. So
Bivol's got great defense.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, Bivol's got great defense too, but it's going to be interesting to see though if he's going to be able to evade every single big shot from Beterbiev. I that remains to be seen. That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
So
and
let me
as
ask.
far as this weekend, I like Bam. Go ahead.
I was going to say, let me ask you this, Robbie. Do you think Joe Smith Jr. should retire now, or no? Or what do you think?
I know, but like you guys said, that was a devastating loss. Where does he go from here? Sure, he can make money, but you got to think about it. After having such a knockout, when you've never been beaten like that, you got to ask yourself, do I really want to continue? I think Joe did the best he could, but I think Andre Ward hit it right on the nose. As soon as he felt the power that was coming back at him, his game plan, whatever it was, kind of went out the window. And
yeah, that's what Beef said earlier.
Joe's
do you think
Joe's
that?
had a.
So where does he go from here, Robert? Where does Joe Smith go from here?
Well, he could fight other guys, but since you've been a champion, you want to continue to work your way back up the ladder. I mean, he could fight. Guys like Zerto Ramirez, and he could fight guys like Joshua Buatsi and people like that. But you want to work your way back up the ladder when you know this guy is going to eventually probably hold all the belts.
Can he ever be champion again as long as you get Bivol and Beterbiev there at the top? That's the thing.
I don't think so. That's the thing. And as far as this weekend, I like Bam Rodriguez. I like him a lot.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be a fun fight to watch.
That's going to be a fun fight, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. It's going to be good. All right, Robert, we're going to get running here. We're going to keep you on hold. All right, man.
Okay. All right.
415, San Francisco. You're live.
Hey, yo, it's just 415, right?
Yes. Who are we speaking to?
Hey, first-time caller. My name is Wolf.
What was it?
My name is Wolf, and first-time caller.
Oh,
Wolf.
nice. Thank you, man. Wolf.
What's up, Wolf?
Frisco, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. I was gonna say, I watched the fight last night, and to be honest with you, I wasn't terribly surprised because I think someone mentioned it. I think he fought Tavoris Cloud Beterbiev, like this is probably maybe at this point 7 to 8 years ago. But I remember watching him at that time, and I said to myself, "Damn, this guy knocked him out in 2 rounds. Tavoris Cloud's a really tough guy." And I was really surprised at the way he just stopped him. And he's got that Foreman-esque power. It's kind of like, how would I compare this? Like, let's say Bivol's like maybe a 60-pound dumbbell coming at, let's say, 30 miles per hour. Whereas Beterbiev is like a 120-pound dumbbell, maybe coming at 20 miles per hour. So it might be slower, but it's just so heavy-handed. And when you get hit by it, man, you just get completely discombobulated. So, I'm high on Beterbiev, and I really want to see what he has, what he's going to do next. I hope he fights Bivol because I think we all know what's going to happen at the Yarde fight. But apart from that, I just wanted to come and say that. It's my first time calling. I did have a question for you guys.
Absolutely, man. Yes.
What do you guys think of like a matchup between Andre Ward, a prime Andre Ward, and I guess whatever you would deem as a prime Beterbiev, whether that be now or 5 years ago? Because I would have loved to see that matchup.
Yeah, I think Ward gets him. I think Ward brings a decision, man. Ward's a different kind of guy. I mean, he has, he can bite down, and he's got that grit. We saw it in the Kovalev fight. He's a better boxer. He's a better boxer than Beterbiev. I believe he's a better boxer. He was at that time in his prime. I think he was a better boxer. He was elusive. He can hit you. You can't hit him clean. He's very good defensively. I think Andre Ward beats him. B, what about you?
It's a tough one. I would favor Andre Ward too, but here's the difference, because people are looking at how Andre Ward handled Kovalev, and they're kind of making a comparison between Kovalev, a prime Kovalev, and a prime Beterbiev. But here's the difference. Beterbiev doesn't fade down the stretch. He doesn't get tired. So that's the scary thing. Like,
well, you know what? In all fairness, though, Ward made him tire down the stretch.
You know, that I was just about to allude to that too. Like, who knows what Beterbiev would do if he was being attacked because Ward is an incredible body puncher. He's an incredible body puncher. The way he knows how to step around guys and just rip those shots around the ribs and stuff. The way he can position himself on the inside, he's really, really skilled up close.
Ward is the kind of guy that can make you fight his fight.
Yeah.
That's what I like about Ward.
He can outmaneuver you, Ward.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And be strong at the same time while outmaneuvering you. He can mix a little bit of grit with the finesse, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it difficult.
That's a good matchup, though. That's a good matchup, man. I tell you what, that's a great match.
Yeah, I love Ward. So
I do too. I'd love to see it. All right, Wolf, we're gonna get running. Thank you so much for the call, and hey, don't be a stranger, man. Call us back, man. We appreciate it.
All right, for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Thank you. Good stuff, man. And from Frisco, baby.
Frisco.
San Fran. King KO says Beterbiev looked like he's on PEDs. He said, did you all see the back acne? I didn't see it. I didn't pay attention to it, and I had to watch it on my phone because,
that's the last thing I'm looking for when I'm watching a boxing match. If someone's got zits on their back, I'm just not looking at it.
I tell you what, the only person I've ever noticed that with was, because again, I'm not really to look for it either. Carlos Quadras.
Yeah.
Was so like, it was like in your face obvious.
Yeah.
Like this, like there's something up here, man. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I didn't notice anything. But again, I wasn't really peeping him out like that either. But Carlos Quadras was really the only one that I really noticed like that. I'd have to go back and see it, man. I don't know. But he was tested. I mean, so as long as he comes back, here's my thing, man. As long as they're being tested and they're coming back clean, what can we say? Everybody was on Manny Pacquiao because Floyd said, he was on steroids or he was on PEDs. Again, man, there was never any proof of it. He never failed a drug test. Absolutely zero proof. I mean, so you got to kind of take it at his face value, I mean, if he gets popped, then he gets popped. Listen, Canelo got popped, I mean, so you could say, yeah, he used PEDs. But, I mean, it kind of is what it is, All right, let's talk about the news and rumors here. Andy Ruiz on the comeback trail will fight Luis Ortiz on September 4 in LA. Beeb, this is a good fight, man. This is a really good fight. Luis Ortiz and Andy Ruiz. It's an interesting fight because both guys are on the dark side of their careers. I really believe that. Is this going to be on pay-per-view though? Because if this thing is on pay-per-view, man, I'm not watching it, son.
I'm going to probably buy it because I'm the biggest loser ever.
I know. I talk a big game, but once I start seeing the previews, somebody shoves somebody in the pre-fight, I'm buying it.
I'm gonna buy it.
I suck, man.
Funniest thing is when Floyd and McGregor were getting ready to fight, we were saying we're not gonna buy this. We're not gonna buy this. Like, and then like 3 weeks before the fight,
as soon as we saw that press conference, we were all in.
We started getting
completely marked out. As soon as we saw that that first press conference we saw, you and I marked out, and we were all in from that point. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Edgar Berlanga will get a 6-month suspension and a $10,000 fine for attempting to bite Alexis Angulo last week. Be justified?
100%.
Should have been more?
But as Calix Boxing said, a 6-month suspension for a boxer is like suspending a pitcher in baseball for 5 games. It's virtually useless because, again, he's not going to fight again for 6 months anyway. So
I don't know. I'll be honest, man. I don't know. This is a guy they want to keep busy. This is the guy you want to keep out in the limelight and stuff like that. I think this does hurt him a little bit. I think this does hurt him. Plus, you're not getting paid for 6 months.
Well, how often does a fighter fight though? You
think about when you think about like Canelo, who fights twice a year. Well, I guess now he's fighting 3. But you think about Floyd, who fought twice a year.
Yeah,
all right. That's an upper echelon guy. He's already got big houses, cars, everything like that. He's already rich. Yeah. This guy ain't rich. He's got money, but he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It's not. They need to fight. He's working just like anything else, man. He's got to fight. It's when you're suspended for 6 months, that's a long time. I think it's a good suspension. I really do. I think that we don't see a lot of it. I think we don't see a lot of it, but I think it is a good. Now the pitcher for 5 games is nonsense because it's not 5 pitching games. It's just 5 regular games that he wouldn't have played anyway. So, and again, he's not fighting every 6 months. Then that makes a big difference. Listen, how much is he getting paid per fight?
Well, how many times a year does Berlanga fight?
Was it 3 or 4? It's got to be at least 3 or 4.
Let's see how many times a year this guy fights. I'm just curious because let me see. So he fought in June, and then he fought in March. So April, May, June. Yeah, I don't know. And then in 2021. He fought in April, then he fought in October.
But again, we're coming off COVID too.
Yeah.
But now in 2020, he fought 3 times.
Yeah. So maybe because he's still in the developmental stage, he's fighting 3 times a year.
Yeah.
So I see what you're saying.
They want to keep. That's the guy they want to keep busy.
So instead of fighting 3 times, he'll only fight twice or whatever. So I guess he does lose a fight out of it. So I don't know.
Yeah, and maybe you got to think that's a loss of a payday. That's not chump change, man.
Maybe you're right.
Little Penny says Berlanga versus Munguia next. Yeah, that's a good fight. Plus the $10,000, $10,000. $10,000 is that. Listen, man, for Floyd, that's one thing. For Berlanga, that's not chump change. That's a lot of money. Plus he's got to pay out all his people and everything like that. That's quite a that's a ding, man. That hurts.
You're starting to convince me a little bit now.
George Kambosos apparently exercises rematch clause. Beeb, we talked about this yesterday too. I don't see that fight happening. I don't care how many I don't care how many times he exercises it, because I just don't see money in that fight. If you're a promoter, you're going to lose money on that fight.
Yeah, something's going to happen where
it was so one-sided, man.
Because DiBella and Bob Arum both have options on Devin Haney right now, and I don't think any promoter wants to lose money on a fight, and I don't know how they could maximize the revenue for a rematch.
Could he fill up a stadium the second time fighting the same dude?
No,
he was completely washed in that first fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and he's going to get washed in the second fight too, because there's nothing. He doesn't have the skill to beat Devin Haney.
No,
he doesn't have the skills you need to beat a Devin Haney. He just doesn't. You know?
I don't see him winning the fight. I have no interest in seeing it. I don't know who wants to see the fight. I don't know how the thing's marketable, if I'm being honest. I just don't know.
It'd have to be, you think, well, where could it be? It would have to be in Australia, I would think, because that's the only place it could really sell. But you can't, I don't know that it would sell out a stadium again.
But they can't put it in front of 40,000 people again like they did.
No. And so each guy, you're going to get a chunk of that cut out, your payday and stuff. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I got a feeling that they may try to give Kambosos some money to not fight Haney. I don't know. I just don't think they're promoters.
Something's got to go down here. And maybe Haney moves up or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just vacates the belts and goes after and tries to fight Tank or something like that. I don't know, for a vacant belt.
Yeah.
That would be a good fight too. Because Ryan Garcia's clamoring for a fight with one of those guys, but he's never going to fight him. Golden Boy can't make that fight.
No, not at all.
Lil Penny says Kambosos can get about 15 to 20,000 in Sydney because he's from Sydney. It's possible. Well, but then you got to think about pay-per-view. You got to think about that revenue stream. Is anybody going to watch that? Is anybody going to be interested in it?
But let me ask you this, Little Penny. I think Little Penny's from New Zealand, but he may know this because it's close to Australia. Does Kambosos really have a lot of fans in Australia? Is he really likable in Australia? Because I've heard a few people say he's not. So I don't know.
Oh, that's messed up.
I don't know. The guy just rubs me the wrong way. He's very irritating.
Stop it. He's got a family, Beeb.
The art of deception. Make them believe.
Make them believe I came in overweight on purpose. Sparta.
Please.
Sparta, I'm 301. I'm saying all 300 of them guys died. I saw the movie. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they all died, right? They all died. So what, I wouldn't be crowing about that, but that's just me. Right. I don't know.
He tends to put his foot in his mouth when he says things too.
Little Penny says he's not Kostya. There you go. There's your answer. Yeah, Kostya was beloved over there,
Thank you.
Tyson Fury. Now, you mentioned this, Beep. Tyson Fury is not allowed in the U.S. because of his relationship with Dan Kinahan.
Yeah, he tried to come back into the U.S. after leaving and going to the U.K., and I guess they wouldn't let him back in. They wouldn't let him on the plane in the U.K. to come back over here. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know how long that's going to last. I mean, I think he owns a house out here too, so
he can't even get home.
I mean, I don't think they're going to be able to keep him out of this country for too long. I'm sure eventually he's going to be able to come back. No.
Maybe. Who knows?
We'll see what happens.
This next piece of news is unbelievable. Floyd Mayweather, Beeb, is going to come back and fight again. Another exhibition. Jeez. He's going to fight against, and this is a guy you may know. Mikuru Sakura.
No.
Yeah, I don't know him either. Anyway, he's going to fight him in Ryzen. The same guys that produce Tension. They're going to fight in Ryzen in September. This guy is a kickboxer / MMA guy, I think. Yeah. Come on, man. And I'm sure, I don't think this will probably be for exhibition. I don't know if it's going to be an exhibition. I got to be honest. I don't know if it's going to be an exhibition or not, but was a Tension fight an exhibition?
Yes.
Or did they count it?
No, it was exhibition.
Yeah, it'll probably be exhibition then. Whatever. Usyk versus Joshua. The rematch is finalized for August 20th in Saudi Arabia. I might be taking Joshua in this. I mean, obviously we got a little ways to go. My early pick, though, it might be Joshua. I think it's going to be Anthony Joshua.
Interesting.
To win that fight.
Interesting.
To win that fight. Little Penny said Floyd is broke. Every time I say Floyd is broke, I get like hate from everybody who wants Floyd to have a big bank account or something like that. But why else is he fighting all these? You know what I mean? Like, why else? It's legalized bank robbery. No, it's not, son.
No, it's not.
Stop it.
It's called desperation.
Right. He bet on Floyd is broken. He bet on Smith Jr. last night. You notice you never see anybody's losing betting slips,
never
when they post on Twitter.
Never do, man.
Carlos Ortiz passed away this week. He was Ortiz was a 2-division world champion from Puerto Rico. He was 85. I believe he's a Hall of Famer. I think he got into 91, I believe. Maybe. If I'm wrong, I might be wrong on that, but I know I think he's a Hall of Famer. So, yeah, not good, man. Not good.
Condolences to the family.
Yeah, right. Jaime Munguia wants some bigger names. He said this week in an interview, I would like some of the bigger names at 160. I don't think any of the fighters are avoiding me. It's just a conflict between the networks, Munguia said. A fight can be made, and I will keep advocating for a fight with Charlo, Munguia added. That's an interesting statement. That's a real interesting statement. Now, he still fights with Zamfir, I think. I think he's co-promoted. I think there's some kind of thing co-promoted with Golden Boy or whatever, but he still fights with Zamfir. Would you agree, and maybe I'm off base here, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, which is possible too. Do you think if he just stayed with Zamfir that he would get a better shot at Charlo than he would with Golden Boy?
Yes.
I think he would get it, right?
Yes, I do.
There you go. Golden Boy cannot make any big fights. They just can't.
I mean, Oscar's talking about selling the promotional company. Like he said,
You got this fool taking pictures with his his Instagram model girlfriend over there, Like, if I'm seeing these pictures, man, I'm wondering, like, who's running the show?
Yeah.
This is the same guy promoting you that's talking about selling the company. Then he's talking about getting $1 billion offer for it, which everybody and their mother knows is nonsense.
That's never going to happen.
No.
That's never going to happen.
No. He's crazy.
That's a joke, bro.
And, the guys are getting tired of it. You got to know his big guys are getting tired of it. So, I don't know, man. Vladimir Klitschko was inducted into the Hall of Fame last weekend. Apparently criticized Roy Jones. Now, as you guys know, Roy Jones is a citizen of Russia as well. He got citizenship in Russia. He trains boxers over there and everything like that. So he addressed the panel or whatever at the Hall of Fame via video. And the video said, quote, "I am super happy to be able to address all of you. Well, almost all of you. There's one person for whom I have a real question. One person broke Ukrainian law by going to the occupied peninsula of Crimea through Russian territory. That person is Roy Jones. So, Roy, whose side are you on? On the side of the aggressor or on the side of the defender? It is right to live. I respect you as a fighter, but I really question your moral compass." I gotta be honest. He's out of line on this comment.
He's got to stop.
He's out of line on this comment.
He's got to stop, bro.
He really is. That was not a nice thing to do. It wasn't the right thing to do. It wasn't a nice thing to do. Roy Jones is over there training fighters. You know what I mean? He's over there training fighters. It's not like he's over there, stomping around for a Putin. I mean, he's training fighters over there. That's what he, I think it was a tasteless comment. I thought it was out of line. I thought it was uncalled for.
What did Roy Jones say?
He just said people are just talking crazy. He said that, he said basically that he trains fighters over there, but he said, I don't want to be thrown into any of the politics or anything. And he said, if Klitschko wants to fight, we can fight, yeah, man, I just, it was just it was a very tasteless all around comment. And I know it's very personal to Klitschko because he's over there and he's fighting or whatever, but it doesn't matter.
Again, you're punishing the citizens for something that the government has done. The citizens have no control over the government.
No.
And it's a very, very, I think it's a poor statement to make because you're holding the citizens accountable for the government.
Well, and the other thing too is that you're right. I mean, they have no more say than we have any say over here. If they want to go bomb somebody, we don't have any say over that.
Well, here's the thing too, Eric. It's almost like when the COVID thing was at its peak, and a lot of the Asian people in America were being criticized and attacked and threatened and stuff, and they were being lumped into the whole controversy with China. Right? They had nothing to do with it. So they were being the victim of hate crimes. That's somewhat the equivalent of doing that. You can't blame citizens for the government. You just can't.
Yeah, real politics is way dirtier than boxing politics. Ronan 7, you said a mouthful. You're 100% right. Yeah.
So for Klitschko to just assume that the citizens of Russia are bad people along with the government, I just don't agree with that.
No, I don't either. And just like the title fights in Russia, I agree with that. But then there was talk that like Bivol shouldn't get a title shot because he's, you know what I mean? And that's
again,
guys,
you gotta,
yeah, that's not cool.
You gotta separate the sport from the politics. You gotta separate the citizen from the government. You know what I mean?
What did they take? I think they took Russia. Didn't they take Russia out of the World Cup or something like that? The FIFA.
Yeah,
they took them out of the World Cup.
Yeah. Yeah, then the whole thing with the government and the entertainers and stuff like that, not letting people perform, it's just too much.
Yeah. Shout out to H Money. H Money, you're the man. Love H Money, man. You ever see those dogs he gets, or I guess he breeds like is it Con Corsos or Cane Corsos or something like that?
Oh, does he? H does?
Beautiful dogs, man. Yeah, it's crazy, right?
You ever see H? He looks just like Steph Curry. You ever see him?
I have.
Doesn't he look like Steph Curry?
He does resemble him for sure. Jake Paul and Amanda Serrano are fighting at Madison Square Garden on August 6th. No opponents, of course, have been determined yet. And Andre Ward came out this week and said he would not mind an exhibition with Jake Paul. I would pay money to see that.
I'd love
that would be amazing, man. Jake Paul's from Titletown, baby.
Yeah.
Titletown, son.
Imagine Henry Wood would destroy him.
That wouldn't even be close, man. I love Jake Paul, but come on, man. I mean, like, gotta have something here. All right, guys, that'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. Happy Father's Day to everybody, by the way.
Father's Day, everyone. Happy Father's Day, Eric.
Yeah, thank you so much. Happy Father's Day. And a shout out to my dad. Happy Father's Day. And yeah, man, you guys be safe and have a great day. And let's see here. You guys can catch Joe Habib on Twitter at jhabib1 and find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporterlive.com. You can find me on Twitter at ringside73. And we will see you guys next week.